Folks, welcome to the Dirty Glove Garden. We are at the end of June and this is the update. So this is at the planters and the actual little plot. So this is like sort of stage 3 of the garden where the plants come once they are ready. So we've had loads of growth. It's quite amazing actually. First few months from Jan, you know, you don't really get much. And then around what are we talking, May, June time, you just get loads of growth. So this, everything here is potted out. It's in its final stages. So what we got, the bed, the planter bed, I'll be honest with you, this hasn't really done very well. These are all garlic here, but I think the squirrels and the birds have just been at them, so I didn't cover them. So that's what I'll be doing next year, is covering them up with cloches. So this was full of garlic, and because the garlic has all died, I've just ended up chucking other stuff in there. So various flowers, dwarf, French beans, and even a tomato plant. So this, to be honest with you, this bed is a bit of a write-off. But otherwise, we've got the Roma tomatoes. They're doing really well. So what we've got is, he's gone a bit limp because it all needs a watering for today. I haven't done today's watering. So Roma tomatoes, they've all got now 2 trusses. So that truss there, and then that one there. Right, so 2 trusses, truss. This is big boy Roma with the prodigal son. All hopes have been pinned on him, and he's doing very well. You can see actually there's the 4th truss and the 5th truss. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So what I'll do is, when it gets to about here, is I'll cut off the growing point, because then after that they just won't ripen the tomatoes. So anyway, so there's the Romas. These are cherries as well. And what I've done is I've just stuck in some of them, I've just stuck a marigold in, because it's a good companion plant that attracts good predators on the pests. So some of these have been a little bit slower. Obviously I picked out the best tomatoes, but that one, for example, is a bit slow. But anyway, there's the tomatoes. There's some in that planter there as well. 3 tomatoes, again, quite close together, but we'll see how that goes. And then around, you can see around the edges, we've got the marigolds there. So tomatoes, so far, really happy with the tomatoes. They are doing really well. So that's cherry and Roma. The other thing that we got in the actual planters is the shallots. So shallots are doing really well as well. So if you have a look here, so this bed is full of shallots. This one is massive. Look at this. I don't know what's happening with this. To be honest, I don't know even if that's meant to be being pulled now. We can see that's going to seed there. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure if that's meant to come out before it goes to seed or not. But I know the shallots, you're meant to harvest when the shoots die back like that. But they're really big, so that's brilliant. I'm really happy with those. But I'm going to need to check whether I need to pull those. There you go. Look, see, you can get a feel of the size there. All right, so that's the planters there. And like I said, some of the shallots didn't actually, only about 1 or 2, so I just pulled them out. And again, used spacer plants, so like this French beans and the chili there. But shallots otherwise did really well. Okay, what else? We've got the tomatoes as well, good old Toms. These are Maris Pipers in here. Maris Piper potatoes, yeah. These are the shop bought potatoes. These are the actual seed potatoes. And they are just, so if you have a look, they're one more. I still need to do another round of earthing, right? So I'm going to fill that with compost all the way up to the top there, and then all of these shoots should turn into extra tubers. So we got tomatoes looking very good. So we got some of the potatoes, sorry, what am I calling them tomatoes for? Potatoes, Maris Piper potatoes, and we've got some in, you can see here, just in these compost bags. And then here is Desirée potatoes. Again, so like I said, I probably should have earthed these up a lot sooner, really. That's quite a bit of because the point is, something like that, that's going to turn into tuber, that, but ideally that's already underground. Do you see what I mean? So there you go, there's the tubers. So those are doing really good as well. So the other thing that we got in this main patch here as well is my friend here, the Courgette. Really happy with this guy. Look at that, it's absolutely brilliant. This was it week 15? No, week 11.
No.
14? Okay, week 14 planted from seed, all right? So week 14, and what are we on now? Probably week 23, 24, something like that. So literally within the space of 11 weeks, we harvested our first Courgette. So that's looking really good. The second one, I'll be honest with you, I've harvested 3 courgettes off this one now. The second one, it was going black on the tip, so I don't know what that's all about. But this one's looking good, as is that one there as well. So far, so good. You can see I've got another courgette, which I'll show you, but it's not as big as this. So it does actually need, it's crazy, it needs the whole planter, which is nuts. Really kills the whole planter off, but there you go, it's worth it, it's fine. Okay, and then last but not least, we've got some strawberries here which have no flowers. I don't know where the flowers are on these strawberries. I mean, it's got this coming off it here, but still no flowers, no strawberries. Don't know what's going on there. This is the revived strawberry plant because I'd left it out and we had frost and it died, but it came back to life. There's no flowers. I don't know, is it meant to have flowers? Don't know, haven't done strawberries before. Then we got the chilies. Look at these bad boys. Look at these bad boy chilies. These are doing really well. So these went outside. These were the biggest ones from the chili peppers. So these went out. And actually on this one, you can see we've got little flowers there. So little bulbs coming off. So hopefully, on this one as well, hopefully a good set of chilies we'll get there. Now this is the difference actually. This is a courgette as well, but look at the size comparison. Obviously I planted this one out a lot later, so this was in a normal 1 litre tub, so you can just get a sense of how much space that they need. It's crazy. All right, let's head over to the academy, where the stage where the plants are at before they come over here. Okay, so these are, I suppose, this is the reserve squad here. Obviously not doing as well, but again, this is the other courgette. And they're pretty much, the courgettes were all planted at the same time, all week 14 or 15 or whatever it was. But you can see here, I mean, this is in a 10 litre container, but I've harvested 1 courgette from this. There's some coming off, but you can see the difference. The leaves are a lot smaller. The shoots smaller, so it really does need a lot of space. It's crazy. But anyway, so here again we've just got more tomatoes, more courgettes, this chili, that's a chili pepper in there, and there's some sweet peppers in there as well. I think this one's a sweet pepper here as well, and another sweet pepper here. So we've got chili peppers and sweet peppers. So I can't see any buds on this one. The sweet peppers have been really slow. I don't know what's up with the sweet peppers. Very, very, very slow. I think that one there's, I think that both of those are sweet peppers. But anyway, there we go. So that's the reserve set. And then obviously still in the greenhouse, these are the babies, which to be honest with you, they're quite far behind. But still, we don't leave no plant behind here in the garden. No plant gets left behind. Lovely lettuces. These have been brilliant. Cut and come again. Lettuce. I've harvested from these twice. No, maybe even more than that. Yeah, 3 or 4 times. So those have been really good. I'll definitely be doing those again. Actually, I've got more seeds. So I'll just do those again, because you can do those at any time. A couple of other things. Again, to be honest, I've been a bit slow to put these out, but look at these marigolds. These marigolds have been brilliant. Loads of marigolds. Marigolds need to go out. These are Jalapenos from Spain, actually. Jalapenos, the label there. Jalapenos from Barcelona itself. But again, I mean, you can see they're not really, these are the biggest ones that I've got. But even still, I don't think these are ready to come out. Well, they've got some shoots, so maybe I might pot these up. But those are the last bit of the peppers that I've got. Jalapeno peppers, sweet peppers, chili peppers. But obviously they need a lot of heat. So, and we're in England where such a thing does not exist. What else we got here as well? And then last but not least, again, this is where I've just been really slow. Underestimated the amount of time it takes, really. The geraniums, these, oh, they smell brilliant. They smell amazing. Really strong smell. But these need to go out. Yeah, in fact, they needed to go out maybe a month ago. But it just literally takes so long. Is that flowering? Wow, look at that. Look at the flower on that. So these do need to go out. I've got two spare beds that haven't been populated yet, so those will probably go in there. That's so strong. That's amazing. Mint is sort of dying. Oh well, that's fine. Still smells lovely. Just give it one whack and start smelling lovely. And again, these are the rest of these peppers. So some of these are the sweet peppers. I've got loads of sweet peppers. They've started to come up now. So we'll see what happens with those. But yeah, this is I suppose this is the academy. And yeah, so far so good. And then last but not least is our flower beds. First time I've ever done flowers. It hasn't been the best, actually. Marigolds have been all right. The geraniums have been all right. This is my first flower to actually harvest, I think. This is a Zinnia. It's actually quite beautiful. And I suppose it's worth the wait. It's very pretty. It takes absolutely forever. But also what I've noticed is actually, you can see a shoot coming off there. Probably gonna get a flower there. The shoot coming off there, there's definitely a flower bud there. It's just brilliant. And the hair as well. So it's quite big, it's really big. It just takes forever. And that's a peony in the middle, which unfortunately is not just not doing that well. So yeah, I mean, you can see there's some marigolds here as well. Marigolds have been really well. That's the fig tree as well, actually, by the way. I forgot about the fig tree. No fruits on it yet, but that's fine. It's the second season that we've had for the fig tree. Okay, and then the rest of the flowers, and this is what I mean about the Zinnia, it's really weird, right? Because it's got a big old stem there, but it's really like flimsy. Well, it's not flimsy, it's quite hardy actually. But I mean, why it's bending over like that, I don't know. See that? It's just bent over. Nasturtiums, these are nasturtiums. Some of these are flowered, they look really nice actually. It's really pretty flowers. French beans. I don't know what's happening with these dwarf. I got the dwarf variety because I don't want no climbers. I've been getting a few because I've got like about 5 of them. I've managed to harvest some of the beans, but they're a bit slow. So I don't know if that's because I was late potting them up or something like that. Here's the hydrangea. It's a bit floppy at the moment, a bit sad. Finally moved him over to this planter over here because it needs a lot of space, apparently, a lot of space. But we've got these 2 shoots here that have been growing forever, but no flowers on them. They're just growing, but that's fine, we don't mind. Let it grow up, bush up. So I've just put one companion Zinnia in there with him. I think, to be honest, what I think's happened here is it's flowered early because it was in a smaller pot. Again, the rest of these beds is just all flowers. So that's the Zinnia. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know what's happening with this Zinnia, why it's like keeled over. I mean, it's still carried on growing. And this is great actually because it's got loads of side shoots. Ah, yes, that's about to flower there, isn't it? And this one here, I've packed these up a little bit weird actually. It's got Zinnia, 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 Marigold, Zinnia, Zinnia, and then French Dwarf bean and one Nasturtium. So there's quite a lot going on in this planter. But funnily enough, this French bean here is actually the biggest out of all of them, and maybe it's the competition. So, you know, I've noticed that it's a bit of competition for the plants. It does actually help them. Yeah, so there you go. So far so good on the plants. We've had some harvests. A lot of the stuff now, almost I'd say 70% is out in its final destination. So really good. See you on the next one.